This is the Percent Problems Study Guide that is created, I believe, in 2024, maybe before, not sure. But we are going to show you that you can use whichever method you choose. You will have an option to use a calculator that is built into the program, or one that you have at home or at school or on your computer if the computer will let you do it. So we are going to simply start by making sure that we know what we're looking for. So Louis made $390 in tips last night waitressing. He had to give 20% to the boys who cleaned the table. Now the question is, how much money did he have to give them? So with that being the question, it is asking, I only need to find 20%. I do not need to add anything or subtract anything. I just need to calculate 20%. So if you are a fan of your probability, you set it up with your 100 and your percent on one side. And since it wants to know what is the 20%, the 20 goes with the unknown. Since we do not know the 20%, we're going to put the X with the 20%. We do know the 100%. It's 390. So you are more than welcome to do it that way if you choose. You can also recognize that since it's just asking about 20%, I can do 390 times 20%, and you can write that as any of these choices. Personally, I'd probably go with this one. So, if I recall correctly, actually stating that, I'd probably go with the top one if my calculator has the little percent button on it. So 390 times 20% equals $78. If you did it this way, you would do your cross multiplication. That is 100x equals 390 times 20. So 100x didn't change, but 390 times 20 turned into 7,800. We're going to divide by 100, which means that my zeros go away. So x still equals $78. Such geniuses, I know. Okay. Next problem, Tyler family went out to dinner and received great service. They left a 22% tip for their waitress. If the dinner bill was $93, what was the tip? So I'm going to make the assumption that the dinner bill is just for dinner. It's not for the total service, or the total, like what I have to pay in order to leave, which is $93 and the 22. I'm going to assume that it is $93 for the food only. So you've again got your choices. We know that the 100% cost of our meal is $93. We know that we left a 22% tip, and we do not know how much that was. So you can set it up that way, or you can use your handy dandy calculator and do 93 times 22%, or 93 times 0.22. I'm not even going to write down the fraction because I know nobody's going to use that with the calculator. So 93 times 22% equals $20.46. Again, if we're doing our cross multiplication, 100x equals 93 times 22. I can't do anything with the 100x, so I'm bringing it down. But 93 times 22 is 2,046. I've got to move this bad boy over by dividing by 100. If I need to use my calculator, I will get still $20.46. I really hope I'm doing the same. Okay. Interesting. Number 3, Maggie ordered $325 worth of photographs from a website. She has to pay $15 or 15% shipping and handling. If I were setting it up this way, I know my 100%, her fee or her charge is $325. I do not know what the 15% is, so I put an X with that. But again, I would just do the 325 times 15% with my calculator, or 325 times 0.15. Either way, your lovely handy dandy calculator that you're going to use during a test would be 325 times 15%, and you get $48.75. Making sure that I answered the question, how much will the fee cost? It's only asking the fee, so I am done. If you are cross multiplying, 100x goes on that side, 325 times 15 goes on that side. Cannot do anything with the 100x yet, so I bring it down. The 325 times 15 is 4,875. Then I divide by the 100, and you get x equals, again, $48.75. Number 4, you purchase a $1,000 television. $1,000, that is my full fee. So that's 100%. I have to pay a sales tax, so that's 7% up there. How much will the tax be? So since the tax is 7%, I do not know what that is. That's how you'd set that up. Now you're going to go 1,000 times 7%, or 1,000 times. Remember this part? I have to change it. So that's why I would use the 7% instead of the point at that point. So 1,000 times 7% is 70. And it's dollars. If I were to cross multiply, 100 times x goes on that side. 7 times 1,000 goes on that side. 100x equals 7,000. Divide by 100. Get rid of the x's. So x, or zeros, x equals $70 again. Am I done? Yes, because it is only asking about the tax. Number 5. Josh just took a 60-question test. So that means the total 100% of all the questions is 60. He scored an 80%. Well, that 80 goes with it. I do not know how many questions he got right. If you don't want to do it that way, you're going to do 60 times 80% with your calculator, or 60 times 0.80 with your calculator. If you type all that into your lovely calculator, I believe you get 48 questions. And since it's asking how many questions did he get correct, he got 48 questions right. We can do that with the other method if that's your preferred. 100 goes with x on one side of the equal. 60 goes with 80 on the other side of the equal. 100 can't do anything yet, but 60 times 80 will be 4,800. I'm going to divide by 100. I get x equals 48. Still 48 questions right. I hope we get 48 questions right. I hope we get 60 questions right. Number 6. Okay, the dinner for all 5 family members was $92 before tax. Do I need to know the before tax? Nope, ain't got to worry about it, because they are only going to be paying the 20% tip on the $92. So if I were setting these up, let's see, my 100 is the full cost of the meal. My 20% tip, I do not know its cost. If I want to use just my calculator, 92 times 0.20, or 92 times 20%. Let's see, 92 times 20, I believe it's 184, or 18.4. Let's see, 92 times 20%, I was right. 18.4, and you must have that 0 because it is money. Now, if you are a student that likes this way, do the same thing. 100 goes with x on one side. 92 goes with 20 on the other side. I cannot do anything with 100x, but I can do 92 times 20. I get 1,840. Use my handy dandy calculator to divide by 100, and you still get x equals, and you'll end up with 18.4, but it's money. So if you're typing it in, you must put the 0. Now the next question, stump some kiddos. Because it says not including sales tax. So since it's saying not including sales tax, do I care? No. Done. So I'm going to say the total of the bill, tip included, that means bill plus tip, would be $92 plus $18.40, which means, look, I'm trying to do this and we'll make sure I get it right. $110. That is an expensive meal. $110.40. Number 7. All right, let's do some things here. Jose earns salary. So salary is once per week. Okay. But then it says, plus a 32% commission on all he sells. His sales for the week are $3,100. Okay, so let's make sure that we understand what this means. The dude definitely gets $246, right? So that's why I'm putting it down there, because his total income for the week, that's this question. So he definitely gets that, but that's not that much money. So the point of being a salesman is to sell as much stuff as you can so that you can make money off of that. It's called commission. And 32% commission is a pretty good commission. We probably made up these numbers, so it's probably not very realistic, but that's beside the point. You got two choices. We know that 100% of his sales was $31,000. We know that he earns 32% with that, but we don't know how many dollars that is. That's why I set it up that way. If you want to set it up that way, that's fine. You can also just do 31,000 times 32% or 31,000 times 0.32. If I recall correctly, this is a pretty big number, so I'm going to use my calculator because I've got it. Why not use it? Times 0.32. I got $9,920. I am in the wrong career. So I can do 100 times X on this side, multiply these guys on that side, 32 times $31,000. He gets 100X equals. I'm not even going to try to say this number because there's a lot of zeros. Phew, that was a lot of zeros. Last step, divide by 100. I can eliminate these zeros. You get X equals $9,920. Now, guys, remember that this is our bonus commission for selling lots of cars. So this means that he gets this amount of money down here. Plus he gets his, and I'm going to line him up, $9,920. So the dude makes a lot of money. Dude, again, he makes $10,166 in 1 week. I need that job. Sales can make good money, I can say that much. Okay. Number 8, furniture is going to clearance out a couch for 75% off of its original price. So 75% off means minus 75%. The couch is originally $300. So how much is the discount off the couch? So let's set this up. 100% cost of the couch is $300. They're going to take 75% off, but I do not know how much that is. That's why I put the X there. So I can do a couple of things. I can either do 300 times 75%. I can do 300 times 0.75, or I can do it the other way. You're going to end up with 225. If you choose to do this, 100 times X on one side and 300 times 75 on the other side. you will end up with 100. X equals 22500. We're going to divide by 100, which means cancel those, and I get $225. And that is off original price. That's the part you need to understand. This one's an interesting example. So we paid $300. The couch is $300 less 75%, which was $225. So this couch was $75 for the bargain couch. Who needs a couch? Let's see if I can draw a couch. You guys love it. There's a lovely little couch. Ooh, look, I did a good couch. There's the couch. Just in case. And let's give it a little pillow, another little pillow. Anybody need a couch? I can draw one up for you too. Okay, so may have seen that stuff before. Ask me if I'm surprised. Haven't seen this stuff. This looks more like the test would look. Miss Ehringer, that's me, had a $30 gift card to Seven Brew. Wish I did. She bought a coffee and now she has $22 left on her card. Determine the percent change in the value in her card and whether it is an increase or a decrease. You can use the bar diagram to help solve. So we don't really need the bar diagram because it gives us lots of information here. Okay, but that's your call. The first thing that I'm going to do is, since it's telling me to determine if it's an increase or decrease, well, I spent money, so it's a decrease. So please make sure you get that one right when you get a similar test question. The percent change. Let's go through here and highlight what we know. I don't see any percents there. So let's set this up. I know 100%. What was my 100%? Well, that's where this might help. So this is my 100%, right? This, that's my problem. This is what I spent, which was $22. So you'll have to calculate what goes here. And I think you could do that by 30 minus 22. So it's $8 is what's here. And here's why the question wants to kind of mess you up. What's it asking for? It's asking for this part. How much or what percent, let me try that again. What percent did it decrease? So it isn't asking about this number at all. It's asking about this number. Okay, so let's set it up. The 100% of my card was $30. So it goes with this one. Okay, I'm going to try to erase all of this extra stuff so that I don't give you some headaches. Okay, it would give me some headaches. Okay, so this is 30, this is 22, this missing number is 8. We know that this is 100%. That's all we know. What we're trying to find out is this percent. Okay, so we know the number that goes with the 30 because this is my dollar side. I had $30 on this side and I used 8. And I did that because I can do 30 minus 8. What I don't know is what percent that 8 is. Does all of that make sense? I sure hope so because there's nobody here to answer my questions. So I'm just going to solve the way that I did. 30 times x goes on one side. 8 times 100 goes on the other. See, this is one of those where you need to know which one to divide by. So I can't do anything with 30x, bring it down. But I can do 8 times 100 and I get 800. Now that tells me what to divide. Since I have that 30 left, I get x equals, 800 divided by 30. Thank goodness for a calculator. Ooh, it's gross. 26.6 repeating percent. So hopefully you'll have a better number for that than that on your test, but you only have to put the numbers because it will include the little percent sign. Okay. Are there any questions? If there are, push pause. But that one is giving you some help to make sure that you realize you don't have a percent. Your unknown in this case is your percent. So your X is going to go with the 100. It's not going to go with the other side. We may or may not have covered much with this. But what I want you to notice when you're talking about simple interest, which is here, all we got to look for is a pattern. What goes next? Well, this is plus 20. That was plus 20. This is plus 20. I'm using the wrong pen. Plus 20, plus 20, plus 20. I hope you can reason that you would plus 20 next. So the interest is 80. How much money will there be in the account at year 4? 80. So you don't really have to think about too much with this. It's just a pattern. I hope all this is well, and that's all I got for you.